Okay, let me first start by introducing the department. Our mandate as the department and the programs that we have in the department to fulfill our mandate. So as the department responsible for environment in South Africa, we derive our mandate from the Constitution, which is section 24, which is the most famous section for the environment sector, which states that as a department, we are the lead in effecting the right to every South African to an environment that is not harmful to their health and well-being. So how do we effect that right? We effect that right through transitioning the country towards a sustainable development path. So as students in this faculty, I'm sure that you are aware of the concept of sustainable development. So what we're trying to do there is to ensure that there is balance between environmental protection, whilst at the same time we're trying to meet our social and economic development needs in the country. So for us to be able to do that, we do have programs in the department. So the department comprises of the following programs. We have got the biodiversity and conservation. These are the people who are in our in our parks and nature reserves. We have people who are also looking at chemicals and waste management. That is where we talk of reduce, reuse, recycle, recover, reflect, the 3 R's, which is the approach that we have adopted on waste management. We also have got a component that is looking at climate change and air quality, which is a more of a specialist field and fast emerging. Maybe if you were listening to news, you might have heard during the course of last week that the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change has released the 6th assessment report that is showing a picture that is not good, that for real climate change is here. And then we've got environmental programs that is looking at rehabilitation programs where we rehabilitate our environment, like places like our wetlands. We have got fisheries management, the people who are responsible for sustainable management of our fishery stocks in our, the marine life, in the oceans, rivers, dams, and ponds, because fisheries management is very important because it's part of our food security. The forestry management, these are the people who are working with our indigenous forests as well as the plantations, the timber plantations, the blue gum plantations. And then we also have got people who are within the regulatory compliance and sector monitoring. These are the people who deal with legal issues, because to be able to implement all those programs, we have got different pieces of legislations that we need to give effect to. So as a department, we also recruit professionals with legal background. And we also have got people who are responsible for our oceans and coasts. Finally, we also have got what we call the Transversal Services. These are the people within the corporate affairs and finance. Let's say, for example, students who are doing commerce, students who are doing admin, who are doing HR, they can also work for this department. So now, broadly or generally speaking about careers in this sector, we are actually looking for young professionals who will assist us as a country to transition or to move towards what we call the green economy, If you might have come across the National Development Plan 2030 for the country, as well as the new growth path that was adopted a few years ago, those pieces of those policy directives, they are trying to transition the country towards a sustainable development trajectory. What do we mean by the green economy when we say we need professionals? Here, we are looking for young people who would assist in our social and economic development so that we are able to lower the emissions, the carbon, the methane gases, the nitrous oxide and others which are causing the global warming, the greenhouse effect. We need young professionals who will assist in making our society resource efficient, sustainable utilization of our natural resources, our water, soil, plants, animals, and so forth. And also assist us in building a socially inclusive economy where we need to have an economy that leaves no one behind. Yeah? The inequalities in the countries, you have seen in the last month, we've come out of a very difficult situation where you could see the consequences of inequalities, the looting and stuff like that, which was happening. So the green economy is an approach to try to transition towards a sustainable development path, wherein we improve the well-being of the people without causing ecological risks and scarcities. So the other way of looking at the green economy, especially in Europe, they talk of a circular economy. So most of you, by the time you join the employment, you will be operating in an economy that is fast evolving into a circular economy. Circular economy, that's where the natural resources, they cycle instead of using them in what we used to have a linear economic approach where we extract, produce services and goods only to dump them in the landfill sites. We are running short of space for landfill sites. So we need an economy that the resources would circulate. So what are the kind of jobs that are going to emerge in this sector? We are moving towards what we call the green jobs, be it in agriculture, in industries, services, and administration, because people are beginning to demand green products and services that are sustainable. So in other words, we would need young professionals who will be operating or who would have the skills to operate in a green economy, to do the green jobs. And green jobs are regarded as decent jobs because these are jobs that should preserve and restore our natural environment. So for you as young professionals to be employed in the evolving green economy, you need to have the green skills. You need to be skilled in green issues. So in other words, you need knowledge, abilities, values, and attitudes that are amenable to sustainable and in building sustainable and resource efficient societies. So when we talk of green jobs, we have got three categories. The first category is the core green jobs, which are if you are students within agriculture, students who are within environmental management or doing environmental science, you are purely doing the core green jobs, or you are doing geography, chemistry, those are core green jobs. But we also have got another category of those that are now emerging to be green jobs. Take for an example, a journalist used to be just a journalist, but now with more information that needs to be shared with communities and societies, We are beginning now to see new careers emerging where we would want environmental journalists, environmental economists, people who should tell us about the value of our resources, energy auditors, environmental lawyers. Then the last category are those traditional jobs that would require to be green. Let's say you have got your BCom degree, working within finance, you need to be skilled in areas on green procurement. If you are within the building industry, how do we now green your jobs in order to start to come up with what we call these days green buildings? If you happen to be in Pretoria and visit the department, we are located within, or we are housed in a building that is a green building, a 6-star green building. So even engineers, civil engineering is being fast emerging to begin to incorporate green skills within the programs. So maybe quickly, let me just run you through the careers that we have in this sector. So when I say in this sector, it means the department and broadly outside the department, because green skills are required in the department. They are also required outside of the department. There are industries, factories, private sector, non-governmental organizations, and some community-based programs that would require young people with green skills. So first area where we need green careers or professionals who have got academic qualifications in the conservation areas, because in this area, that is where we are experiencing rapid loss of our biodiversity and ecosystem services. So professionals are needed where they would come and provide us with innovative ecological and social responses to conserve and manage our biodiversity. So there we have just listed some of the careers. You need not worry about the list. I'll give you a link right towards the end where if you are interested in one specific area, you can go and read and do more research, because on that link, let's say, for example, we are talking about an animal behaviorist would state, okay, what is an animal behaviorist? What qualifications can you do? Where can you go and work? What skills do you need to have? The second area is within the forestry, where professionals are needed to manage our indigenous as well as the plantations, because these are a big part of our economy, and people are creating livelihoods from that. Where would they have bioengineers, forest scientists? You could be within the agriculture or doing your qualification in agriculture. You can still work within the forestry because there are issues of propagation, how we manage, horticultural issues or skills that are required in this area. The climate change, which is one of the biggest challenge that the world is facing today, the unpredictable weather, the droughts and floods, and even the KwaZulu-Natal area, if you were checking the trends in the past few years, there were times where you were experiencing severe drought, sometimes it was flooding. So we would need skilled people, climate change scientists, specialists in atmospheric issues. So we need also young people to work within the water sector. You know the country, South Africa is a water scarce country. So we need scientists who would assist us in managing our wastewater plant operations. The oceans and coasts, you are in KwaZulu-Natal. There's a voice, someone interrupting. Okay, the farming and food, it's another sector where we need skilled young people to come and assist us in addressing food security issues, as well as environmental issues. In our cities, the city of eThekwini, the city has got environmental programs within where they need also young people. They've got things like botanical gardens, museums, so skilled professionals in that area. We have listed some of the carriers that you can have a look at. I'll share this presentation with the convener. She will share with you, and then you can go to the site that I will show you right towards at the end if you are interested in career related to environment within the city space. The waste management, where we need skilled people to assist us on how do we reuse, how do we recycle, how do we recover the natural resources. In the energy area, renewable energy, it's becoming, I mean, you know, South African energy, it's coal powered, which is a dirty energy. We need to transition to more renewable and cleaner energy, especially because that has got economic consequences. The mining sector, there are also environmental skills that are required there. We've got careers like people who have studied geology, earth moving plant operators. So as I move towards conclusion, in order to create some time to engage, if you can take down this website, it's www.greencarriers.co.za. Those carriers which we have listed there, you go into this website. We have provided much more information. If you are interested in specific one, you want to know what does this career entail? What do people who have got this career do? Where do they work? Where can they apply for employment? You can go and use this website. Should you want to contact me directly, there are my contact details.